Okay, so we'll call the meeting to order. Today is April 10th, 2017. It's the Halifax Finance Committee meeting. On the agenda tonight is mail, reserve fund transfers, meeting minutes, approval of budgets, approval, discussion of articles, public participation, and adjournment. So we have some handouts tonight. An updated local receipts comparison, and a copy of the annual town meeting warrant. So one item just to discuss real quick on the first page is the vocational tuition. I was told that we had one extra student apply that was not included in the school committee's vote. So they had room for one, but they had two people apply. So the school committee will have to re-vote the out-of-district vocational line so that we can re-vote it at a town meeting to include that addition.
Just add a little early.
No, we're on time.
No, it's 7:59.
7:59.
7:01 now, sorry.
So the vocational education.
So
you know,
vocational
it's
line is good. It's gonna be add 30, I guess, because we're not gonna know come town meeting whether or not the student's in and going to attend.
True. That's true.
So we're gonna have to add, but the school committee has to add that before we can vote that, because it's their budget,
Well,
right?
no, not necessarily, because it's the warrant itself, the budget part of the warrant itself is your. So let's say you had a disagreement with your bottom line, and we've done this for several.
Yeah, but we usually put the number, we put their number, and
Yeah.
on the lines with letters, we tell them, or vice versa, we put our number and then put their line
Yeah.
requested.
I think in the case of this though, where it's a fixed cost, like it's not really.
She didn't give an exact update though, it was just a ballpark of 30, so
Okay, so you got that from Christine, or?
I got that from Joyce.
Then I think that if the superintendent is telling you that, and it's not really a controversial line item in the sense of, you know, it's subjective at all, it's like that's the cost, sort of like sped. And so I think in that case, I think it would be appropriate for you to put the amount that she just gave you and not worry about it. Because then if you hold it, because you're right, like we have to budget the money regardless if the student decides to go there.
Alright, so 30,000 is the number she quoted, so we'll have to take a vote when we get to that to change the line. So that'll be line
It's line 73.
73. Alright, well, before we get into that, what do we have for mail?
Oh, we don't have any milk.
No mail. Reserve fund transfers. Okay, amount requested is $550 to the law account, line 101-151. Present appropriation is 0. Amount requested will be used for pay a legal bill to Attorney Gilman for March legal services. This is expenditure is extraordinary or unforeseen for the following reasons. The town has been involved in more legal cases than previous years, and the number of issues which labor relation has increased. So this is like the third one in a row. So I guess we don't really have a choice on paying the bill. But what's the reserve fund total at?
$42,282.89.
We've got 3,500 pegged for something else, right?
3,500, right?
3250, I believe it was. For LED lighting at the
Fire station.
fire station.
Okay, is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Discussion?
Can we do this once a month instead of once a week?
Thanks, Charlie. He's the one putting them in.
Yeah, no, I know, but, I mean, terms with the
No,
lawyer is met the, I mean, rather than have to do this every week, if we do it once a month.
well, I'm not sure how often, when the bills come in,
Yeah,
when the services were rendered.
That might have been one that we just closed,
okay.
one of the cases, I know that we just settled one.
I would, yeah, it would have been nice if we had like an estimate, and we could have just done one reserve fund that paid these bills as they come in, but we
Yeah, I
didn't
know
have
it's
that.
kind of new to us this year, but as far as having.
No,
to
I
do it-
know, usually it
so
doesn't happen
often,
like
but-
this.
Well, I know sometimes you ask us to, like, not come and take more than what we need and for a line item, and so I don't know if it's really hard to estimate, like if we said we needed another 10,000 and then we don't really need that amount.
Yeah, it just feels like death by 1,000 cuts right now. That's all.
Yeah, no, I understand, I get what you, trust us, on our end, it's, yeah.
We would have waited on this,
Till
except
the
that you're not
special.
meeting next week,
Okay,
so.
You know, the discussion's very similar to the water department.
exactly.
You don't know what's down the road, but do you put a lot of money up front?
All right. Hearing no other discussion. All those in favor, aye?
Aye.
Opposed or abstentions? Four, 10, 17. Hey, this is
Oh,
first.
boy.
The old game, yeah. I have all my minutes ready.
We'll have to skip that tonight.
I'll chase you all over.
Any others?
No, that's the only reserve fund thing,
How are you?
Thank you. No, did you sign this yet?
I'll wait till you sign it.
I'm sorry, the paperclip messed me up.
Oh, you can hear people again.
You don't realize how loud it is until it's just on.
Absolutely deaf.
Huh?
Yeah.
Okay, meeting minutes. Monday, March 20th, Mel, Linda, Stu, Diane, Melinda, and Bill were present. Has everyone had a chance to review? And is
I
there a
did.
motion to accept?
I'll make a motion as printed.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Any further discussion? All of you in favor of this?
Aye.
Aye.
I abstain as I wasn't here today. Okay. Tuesday, March 7th, 2017. Myself, Mel, Linda, Stu, and Melinda were present. Is there a motion to approve as printed?
Recap, because I,
This one is the meeting at the special town meeting.
okay, I'll make a motion as printed.
Okay, any further discussion? All those in favor, aye.
Aye.
Abstentions
Abstain.
would be
Diane,
Diane.
me.
Yeah. Okay,
Jeez, go ahead and make me work for it.
Yes.
Monday, March 6th, myself, Mel, Linda, and Melinda were present. Stu, Diane, and Bill were not present. This was the night before town meeting. Talked about Silver Lake School, Council on Aging, and the school project.
I'll make a motion as printed.
Okay, is there a second?
Second.
Any further discussion? All those in favor, aye?
Aye.
Okay, this one passes. Abstentions would be,
I'll abstain.
I abstain.
yeah, you-
One other abstain?
yes.
Right here.
Diane. Diane.
It's who I was missing.
Okay, February 27th. Myself, Mel, Linda, Stu, and Melinda were present. We met with Bill that night. Talked about the elementary school project. Met with Jerry. An email from Charlie discussing the pilot for decommissioning the solar fields and a reserve fund transfer.
I'll make a motion as printed.
Is there a second?
Second?
All those in favor, aye?
Aye.
Okay. Abstentions would be
Abstain.
Diane. I think you were on that, so.
What's this name?
Probably right before you can.
Yeah, we've been a little behind.
Yeah.
This one,
We've always had quorum, but not the right quorum.
the next one is Monday, January 9th. Myself, Linda, Stu, and Diane were present. Talked about the Silver Lake land deal, Halifax elementary school budget. The budgets were due that day. Pretty quick meeting. Is there a motion to approve?
Makes motion.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
All those in favor, aye?
Aye.
Okay,
Abstain.
Abstain.
okay. Meeting minutes are done. Now we can get 2 months behind.
We're just gonna plan for us to be together and just knock a bunch out.
They were piling up, I was sick of carrying them around. Thank you.
Okay, so are there any changes to budgets that we missed?
Line 93.
Yes.
Or 92, I'm sorry. Yes.
Right. And there was a discussion again about line 27 clerk expense.
All right, so let's go to that one first. See when the clerk is here.
So the money that the assistant clerk got, the scholarship money, is for this fiscal year. She's going to need the money that was put in the budget for the next fiscal year.
Okay, so that needs to be revised to 4,930?
Yes.
Okay. Is there a motion to,
Wait, mine already says 4,930.
Right, but we voted 30 and then 30
So-
last week.
Oh, I wasn't here. Okay. So we're
So-
voting the print, this number.
that number? yeah.
Okay.
I'll make a motion to accept 4930 for line 27 clerk expense.
A second.
Now we have to make a motion to
Motion to reconsider.
reconsider.
So I'll make the motion to reconsider.
Is there a second?
A second.
Thanks, Matt.
We voted
We voted it that
at
night.
39?
Yeah, because that was the text
Right.
message we got from Kendra, so we were incorrect. So we can
It was
pay.
just a big, can't blame me. I messed it up.
No, you-
Never mind.
No, she didn't. Basically, she asked about
yeah,
it.
don't worry.
And I just said, if it was necessary, please take it out. That was okay. We'd deal with it for next year. Because she's going in July, but it has to be paid in May. So that's
Gotcha.
what she did for this. So I thought if
Okay.
you were looking for money, that I would make do other ways and give you that back.
Okay, so 49:30. So motion to reconsider. Second. All those in favor of reconsideration?
Aye.
Okay. Is there a new motion to move 49:30?
I'll make the motion to move 4930 for line 27 clerk expense.
Any further discussion? All those in favor, aye?
Aye.
Yes.
The next line would be line 73, vocational education.
Okay. Let's talk about some vocational education, the email from the superintendent that needs to be increased by 30,000.
Move to reconsider line 70.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Okay. All those in favor of reconsideration, aye?
Aye.
Opposed or abstention?
I'm saying aye.
Okay.
That is, I don't have line 73.
So it got renumbered. If you go to the packet, that-
Oh,
Go to warrant.
sorry. What are you talking about? I
So-
don't like some lines.
I know I usually just overdo something, but I really do know something.
Okay, yeah. 159.
73 for
Yeah.
vocation. So we move to reconsider. Do we vote it?
Yes.
Okay. So the line should be 189,000. Is there a motion?
I moved the 189,000 for line 73.
Is there a second?
I will second.
All those in favor, aye?
Aye.
Opposed or abstentions? Okay, passes. The next line was the cemetery wages,
Yeah, 92.
line 92.
The new number should be 70,023.
Okay.
Move to reconsider line 92 cemetery wages.
I will second.
Any further discussion? All those in favor, aye?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, passes. The new number will be 70,023. Is there a motion for cemetery wages, line 92 at 70,023?
I moved the 70,023.
I'll second.
Any further discussion?
Are we doing this one here? 92?
Yeah.
And then,
Not my fault.
questions?
It was 93 in the beginning. And on Friday, we were moving.
Okay.
So was this just longevity?
It was longevity has gone up on this position and we missed it.
Strange things happen. on Friday.
So, just planning ahead, if the longevity doesn't pass town meeting, then we would have all new papers for town meeting. So you're gonna have to have those printed too. There's
Let
your
me see.
green colored.
Salmon.
I will have every color that I want, I promise you.
You tried.
I will try to anticipate every
Did we vote
possible
that?
combination.
That one, 92?
No.
Are there any further questions on this one? Seeing none, all those in favor, aye?
Aye.
Passes. So, we have our comment on 104, just so everyone sees that. That's a Finance Committee was unable to reach a majority recommendation. So hopefully we can have them in at our next meeting to discuss that. Is there another line within the budget?
That was it.
Article 6. Doesn't say we recommended it. Oh, so it says recommendation at town meeting. I guess we gotta review this.
Article 6 then?
Yeah, it says recommendation at town meeting, which is all the revolving accounts.
This is the permanent.
Language,
Right, the permanent language, so that from this year on, we won't have to vote that chart every year. We set them up as permanent revolving funds unless they're taken out at town meeting. They can be removed at town meeting as well.
But they would have to be, the sums would have to be voted in town meeting if they changed?
If they
Only if they change.
Okay.
no liability. Everyone have a chance to read? Any questions? Okay, is there a recommendation on Article 6?
I vote to recommend Article 6 as presented.
Is there a second?
A second.
Any discussion? All those in favor, aye?
Aye.
Opposed or abstentions? Good, passes. So we did 7. Article 8 is contract, it's not completed yet. 9, it's not completed yet. 10, another contract. 11, a contract. 12 is a contract. 13 is a contract. 14 is a contract. 15 we recommended. Article 16 probably will get passed over unless the legislature comes up with a chapter number. 17 we recommend. 18 we recommend. 19. So 19 is the fire suppression. So the amount listed is 977,000. So is that, did you guys discuss the fire suppression system with the selectmen? No? Did you guys, is this
We
sound
did talk
number?
about it. We did, yeah. So we met with the architect a week ago Tuesday, and he went through everything. we had a lot of questions. We wanted to make sure, as you know, the night before town meeting, we got this new amount and we didn't feel comfortable going forward with it until we had time to really look at it because it really shocked all of us, including you guys.
Okay.
So we did go over the number. That is allegedly a strong number. So,
And you're recommending the debt exception for this?
that's, yes.
Okay.
Can you summarize what was the what drove the cost difference between what it originally was and
What his answer was it was just sort of an estimate. Because I remember when we first started talking about this fire suppression, you were there, remember that, Gordon? It was a day meeting when we first brought it up.
Yeah.
And he had estimated it, like just off the top of his head, I think he thought it was gonna be 200,000 at the most, or 100,000. So it was really just him guessing. But it wasn't until they went in there and got the vendors in there looking at it that it was a more solid number. So that's basically his answer to us. It was a guesstimate.
pretty big guess?
Yeah, I would think so, yeah.
From a
And
seat,
the design cost was pretty hefty. I don't have it with me.
The
You
total,
guys might-
I want to say that day was 600,000. Was that what they said tops for this?
Yeah, it was- yes.
With all the design, the design cost was like 100 grand.
Yeah, remember originally it was like 42,000 and I thought when I first looked at it, I went, oh, okay. And that was just the design cost and then it just went through the roof. I don't have this up with me, I didn't expect
It's
to.
The only thing I would like to see is it move to within the debt, within
No,
the levy.
I know, and I think that's a discussion, like, we were hopeful that we could have that. I mean, that's a recommendation that Charlie has had too, to have it with debt excluded. I know that the wish from, we talked about having it within the levy. I think, I'm not gonna speak for my whole committee because they're not here, but I can tell you what I think the reason is, we've got the CETA project, I think the hope is that that goes within the levy.
So,
And then that would allow us still to have sort of that buffer that we like to have for those unforeseen things like sped going up.
I think at this point, with the amount of money that's available within the levy, to ask the taxpayers to increase the levy any further is a mistake.
But I want you to explain so people at home don't think that we're just charging people. It's the same amount that they'll pay. It depends on whether it's above the levy or within the levy.
But
we're
it
not
allows
asking
you to
raise
go,
more than they need to.
but if you have a levy available to fund it, why would you put it above the levy? Because, last year we had 160,000 of excess capacity.
Yes,
That we have for this fiscal year.
yes.
And I think to try to say that we have that capacity and we're not gonna use it, we're gonna put it above and bring your tax bills possibly even higher.
No. Gordon, I want you to explain it correctly because I don't want people at home thinking that we're just like going to raise the taxes and then go above the levy.
But we
don't spend, you guys don't approve anything. The taxpayers still have approval of every line item. So let's explain the way that it is. So we can either I'm going to make up the numbers, I'll pretend to be Charlie, I didn't grow my beard out.
Yeah.
Let's say it's $50 for somebody a year on their house, I'm making it up. It's still gonna be $50 if it's above the levy or below the levy. The only difference is if everybody spends a lot of money at town meeting, then their taxes will go up. But the bottom line is the taxpayers have that choice at town meeting.
But that's not really true though, Kim, because what you're asking the taxpayers to do is to have this sum of money below the levy. So your tax bill is set here. This is the max the tax bill can be.
Yes.
And we just asked them to raise it for the school roof project.
It's not raising your tax bill.
But it is raising your tax bill to what you can tax to.
Yes, but they make the decision at town meeting of
But
what they
that's
tax.
not necessarily true because
It
as soon
is
as,
absolutely true.
but it's not necessarily true because when we look at special education, and that's the largest increase this year. If that increases again, they don't have a choice. They have to spend that money. So it's making it so we don't have to make a tough decision here when you debt exclude. But it makes it so everybody's tax bills goes up. We just asked them to increase the debt levy,
Yes.
right? So we've increased the tax bill possibly above the levy limit, right? In future years, because we're not paying for it this year. So next year, if we get slammed, we could end up paying 6-7% more in taxes,
Right.
which I think is a mistake when you can limit that this year.
If the budgets absorb that, that's the thing, like, we can't do anything without the taxpayers approving it. And so the thought, and again, we tried to have this conversation with the finance committee 2 weeks ago when we had the building committee here. And
So
the
just
finance
to
committee
bring
here.
that up, Kim,
So-
we didn't know that we were meeting with you guys. That wasn't on our agenda when we talked about it the week before.
Okay.
So that got thrown in, and I don't think any of the members realized that you guys were coming in.
Okay.
So, I mean, that wasn't, the project, when we asked about the things coming before us, the Council on Aging wasn't even coming up for discussion this year. So that got thrown in. This we knew about, but I don't think it's fair to ask the taxpayers to increase the amount that they're able to have their tax bill increased to, when we have the money within the levy.
Yes. But do we have the money and the project for the senior center?
I don't know, but to ask them, I think we do. I'm pretty sure we have over $500,000.
Then I would suggest that we all get together and make sure everybody knows about the meeting, that this is gonna be a discussion about all of this. I don't feel comfortable making that decision without my other members here. I really don't.
And the other members here could tell me I'm wrong, but
I'm in concurrence with you. I think we've already asked them for the school roof project.
Yes.
And to ask them to take another bite of the pill and still have all that money under, we have 500,000 this year, we had 160 last year. If we're going to do these large projects, we've got to start making some tough choices, because we can't continue to spend at the rate we're spending.
I don't disagree with you, and that's part of the discussion that we need to have.
And I think if you force them to make a decision at town meeting, this is the total amount of money that we have at this projected tax rate to spend. And these are the projects that will fit either close to it or under that number. There might be a couple in here that you have to say no to. Because as a town, it's been my observation at town meeting that people very rarely say no. There might be some spirited debate over there, but the only major project I've seen them say no to was the senior center a couple of years ago to go to all seasons. And that was a big decision they made. But they need to start looking at, like we do every Monday night here, look at every line item and say, hey, if we want these big things, maybe we don't get steak 3 days a week, maybe we get it once.
We get something for it?
We eat steak 3 days a week.
Oh, steak.
Now, maybe we cut
budgeted steak.
that back to 1 day a week,
No,
so we can afford these other projects, rather than putting it on top of the tax bill like we're
right,
doing
but
with the
I
debt
want you to
exclusion.
explain, though, I don't want people at home, especially if we have a guest, I want them to think that we spend all the money and then we're gonna ask them to raise it. What we were trying to do is put the senior center within the levy, and then, and again, you all know, we don't ever really tax the levy. It's not like we approve, things, expansions of departments, or, I know you're behind.
No, that's all right.
But we are pretty conservative.
And I want to be clear,
Right.
the selectmen are very conservative. This is not an attack on your board at
Yeah, no,
all.
and I wish they were all here, because, like, Charlie especially, because, it was part of the discussion that we had at the selectmen, and I get it. I want to keep the tax bill as low as I can too, absolutely. And I want to touch upon the senior center. We've been working on the senior center. We weren't sure that we were going to be able to go forward because we had this huge roof project, and we wanted to take the temperature of the town. But at the end of the day, we owe it to the townspeople to bring that project forward. They charged us, town meeting charged us with looking at this renovation project, and, you know, we don't wanna spend this extra $60,000 on drawings that we already have. We don't need to appropriate. Like, we could, if we wanted, to spend the $60,000 on the drawings and get the full price, but we don't even wanna do that without taking the temperature at town meeting. So if town meeting says, I don't wanna do this project, then we're gonna use that 60,000 and it is gonna be the most minor, it might cover maybe some electrical issues that we have. It's not gonna be a renovation, it's not gonna fix a tenth of what needs to be fixed over there. But that's why the senior thing is on the warrant.
Same.
At this year, we could fit both those things in under the levy.
Right.
But you know that this year is unusual. We had a decrease in the Silver Lake assessment. We're not going to be looking at that kind of thing all
No.
the time. So we can fit it within the levy, but if we have a huge increase in the sped, the insurance jumps up, a couple of other things jump up, and we've put both those things under the levy. You have to be ready to say, now we have to make some cuts. We're going to cut teachers, we're going to cut
But next year, the levy's going up by
employees.
400,000 to 500,000 on top of that.
But you have to be ready because you're making that decision to put them in the levy, which is fine. I'm not against it, I'm not opposed to it. But you have to be ready to make those hard decisions if we get faced with things that we have to pay and we have no choice.
I agree.
Like all the fixed,
And as you know,
Costs.
$400,000 goes like that when it's two sped students, or it goes like that when it's.
But that's also the point, Kim, is that then we have to make tough decisions. Right now, we're saying, okay, we're not gonna make any tough decisions. We have a buffer. We just want you to put it on top of the buffer. And then we're gonna go up again. So we might.
That's not so awful, but that's not really the intent.
But realistically, if we have $500,000 of unused levy, you could have offered to the taxpayers at town meeting to put the school roof project within the levy.
You'd have nothing left though.
But you could have offered that.
Yes, but you'd have not, for financial planning, again, if.
But when we're talking about the tax bill,
I
right?
understand that,
The tax bill just continues to go up and up and up.
But can I just use again, I know the tax bills go up and up and up, but we're not out there spending money like drunken sailors. Like, we are running a town with minimum staffing. I mean,
But
let me just finish my point for you.
Okay.
And I think that we all have been very conservative, and we all are mindful of the tax bill. Trust me, I'm so mindful of it. But in this particular case, you know me, I want to put a little aside in case there's an emergency, because a huge emergency at the school or anywhere, then where do you cut? Like $400,000 in the budget is such a huge amount to cut. And we already have minimum staffing at police. We just got staffing increase at the fire department, which has been a huge success. I'd hate to go backwards.
But I just want to stop you,
So-
Kim. We've never had $400,000 of excess capacity ever before.
Right.
So I don't understand why now we have to have 400,000.
No, I didn't say we have to have 400, because as you remember, I said that the bond payment for the senior center would go within the levy.
I just think it's, from the perspective of the taxpayer, you're saying that we could have fit the projects within the levy, but we were afraid that we might have
That
to take a we might have to make a tough decision in future years. That's how it comes across, is we could have put this within the budget.
First of all, you proposed that to us about 20 minutes before we were going out into.
But I was proposing that 2 weeks, 3 weeks before.
But we weren't sure of the numbers, and then right before town meeting, like, I'm not gonna make that decision without really vetting that choice.
And I get that, but we
I
have,
want you to know that, like, I'm not just sitting there going, oh, yeah, well, we're just gonna.
but this project definitely fits within the levy. I don't understand why.
Yeah, so let's have that discussion.
Okay.
Which is why we came here 2 weeks ago, to sit down and have the discussion.
Okay.
I don't know why you weren't told that that's why we were here.
We didn't even know you were coming. It wasn't on the agenda. I mean,
That's
we
fine,
didn't
but
know.
we've had, it's fine. I'm not,
I-
really.
I mean, we sat here, we talked about what was gonna be talked about at the next meeting, and Charlie was here, and he never said that you guys were coming, so.
Well, I apologize for that. I mean, we had a couple of we had a selectmen's meeting that we were inviting. I thought we invited as many people as we could. To talk about the senior center and to talk, like we had the architect here about the fire suppression. I thought we had reached out to everybody. I know there were some representatives from the school that came. So we did have the discussion, and then we, at that same time, had the building committee in to talk about the senior center, because again, we weren't sure what we were gonna do with it, but we know at the end of the day, what's the positive in waiting to bring it forward to the residents, in the sense of it's only gonna cost them more the longer we wait. And it's already gonna be, like, the school roof project is already on their tax bill, so to wait, it's not gonna come off in order to make up for the renovation project. So there's a lot of stuff going on, huge projects. And I think that I don't feel comfortable until we're all sitting down and talking about the whole levy. That doesn't have to be decided today, that's the wish, but that conversation needs to happen between all of us when we're all in the room. So we need to pick a date that we know that everybody can be there, because it's that important.
Okay.
But I want it to be clear, because we're not trying to hurt the taxpayers and to have them pay more than they need. That is not our intention at all. We are trying to manage the money the best that we can, and we're trying to be mindful and to be prepared for the things that we know could go bad. That's all.
I get that, but I also get that we made a decision as a town to do a debt exclusion without presenting all the information to the people.
I disagree.
Well, we didn't tell them that we were gonna be putting the senior center inside the levy.
We didn't know that until we were just talking about,
Right.
that discussion just happened.
But-
That discussion just happened.
But what I'm saying is that now this money's available to do the senior center within the levy, when all the debt exclusion votes that have happened in the last 4 years have failed.
We didn't have the capacity. We
But
didn't
we-
have the levy capacity before. Absolutely did not.
Right, but we have the levy capacity because we chose to put the school roof project outside the levy, and we're now choosing to put the senior center inside the levy.
We need to remind the people that even whether it's in the levy or not, it was the same amount that they needed to approve for the school project. I want that to be known, because that is true.
Right,
Thank you.
but the point is that the tax bills, which are the biggest issue on the residents' mind, is not whether it fits within the levy or it doesn't. It's what's the tax bill going to be?
Could be, if it's voted at town meeting.
Right. Okay. So I'll sit down with Charlie and see what day works for the selectmen to come in with a full finance.
Or you can come to a selectmen, whatever meeting we can come together.
Okay. Does anyone else have any comments on Article 19? So 20 is the so to see if the town will vote to appropriate or borrow or transfer from available funds $50,000 to be expended under the direction of the Halifax School Building Committee for the repairs and renovations of the Halifax Elementary School located at 464 Plymouth Street, including but not limited to the security system, including but not limited to any architectural, engineering, administrative work associated with this project, or take any action thereof. So this is going to be moved from,
This is going to be a raise and appropriate. What we're planning on using is the 70,000 that we've been getting in the local.
For the meals
options,
tax.
Yes.
But because that's part of the local receipts, it would be considered
Raise and
a
appropriate.
appropriate.
okay.
And that doesn't affect the capital budget at all, because I know that's where that
No,
money
it
was.
doesn't. No, it
Okay.
doesn't affect the capital budget at all, and it doesn't affect, when we were talking about the levy and how far below levy we were.
Yeah.
I never used that 70,000.
I thought that was the case, but I
In
just wanted to
that
verify.
as
This is supposed to go
So,
for capital
Yeah.
items.
because last year when we implemented it, we said we're going to use it for capital.
This qualifies as capital.
Yes.
So the motion would be to see if the town will vote to raise and appropriate raise and appropriate 50,000 to be expended under the direction of the Halifax School Building Committee for repairs and renovations to Halifax Elementary School located at 464 Plymouth Street, included but not limited to the security system, including but not limited to any work, architectural, engineering, and administrative work associated with this project or take any action thereof. So is there a motion to recommend?
I'll make a motion to recommend Article 20 as read.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Any discussion? All those in favor, aye? Okay. So 21 will skip because they're coming in with information at our next meeting. And just notice the sum has changed from 1.8 million to 2 million.
Is that for the council meeting?
Yes. So 22 would be the same.
Before we go any further, is that a hard number? I mean, because,
I just got an email from Charlie over the weekend saying that John Campbell had talked to the architect. I don't know the detail of it.
Okay.
It's just an email from Charlie saying that he had spoken to the architect, and I don't know if it includes the site work. I don't know if it includes the septic system. I don't know any detail. And Charlie's been on today, and he won't be getting on, so.
I don't believe that's a hard number.
okay.
We did 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45. All right. Usually we'll at least look at the plans.
Yeah.
46. Does anybody see the word that changed?
The difference in these two, they're going from the list of delinquent taxpayers. It used to be that the taxpayer had to be delinquent for 12 months or more,
Yeah.
and now it's changed to 30 days. The Municipal Modernization Act that was just passed by the state now allows you to hold permits on people who have not paid their taxes, if it's even just 30 days late.
Can I just see that? Sure. Can I just see the packet for just a second?
It's at the bottom.
Are these reported in the paper?
I don't believe it.
Tax delinquents?
If it's going to tax title, it will go in the paper.
Does this change that
No.
frequency?
Yeah. It would change it, because you're doing it once a year, now you're doing it every 30 days.
Right.
No,
Right?
no tax title, no.
No, if you have to create a list now.
The list is for internal for the different departments, so they know which taxpayers are delinquent. So that if someone comes in for a building permit or a permit through another department, we have record that they're not up to date on their taxes. Building permits go through the whole system anyways, they go to the tax collector and everyone else to sign off on, but there are other permits through the Board of Health in different places.
So if you have, just a question, if you have somebody that's behind in their taxes but that's selling their house and is trying to get a permit to try to fix something so that they can sell their house but they can't afford to pay their taxes,
Well, I
Is
think
there a
that
way
they
to-
would probably go in and talk to the tax collector and come up with a solution that way.
so it doesn't have to be paid in full before they'd be able to do that? Because at least with a year behind, they have the ability. I mean, I know working with the states, sometimes to get the state to do
I
that.
think those are policy questions, and I think those are good questions for the tax collector and for Charlie,
Okay.
okay? I don't know the answer to that.
I guess I'll email them some questions. Because if you're trying to sell your house and you're behind in your taxes by 30 days and you can't sell your house because you can't afford to pay your taxes.
I know, but
you're
our
trying to-
tax collector is pretty, if you're making an effort,
Yeah, I'm sure it's the case.
that's, yeah.
If they're on a payment plan or if there's some kind of an
If
agreement.
they've come in and talked with the tax collector, have an agreement.
So it's
with her,
not just
sure.
like you're on this list, that's it?
No,
No, I would imagine, I mean, she's, like Sandy said, I mean, we're pretty good about, understanding certain circumstances. And so
Yeah.
I would think that they would come in and plead their case and perhaps there's some kind of, well, I'll need this down payment, as a good gesture with some kind of a.
Well, I'm
payment
just,
plan.
because it says that the party has not filed in good faith a pending application for an abatement of tax.
Or a pending petition, so I think that petition
A
would allow
petition,
it.
no, that's before the appellate tax board, which is
Mm.
completely different.
right. But I think that, as we said, if they've come in and made good faith effort with the tax collector, to say that, and we're not just talking about real estate taxes,
Mhm.
you know?
I'd like to ask a couple questions to the tax collector before we
Right.
vote on this.
Just pass it over.
That's it.
I have one other question though. In the revision, to shall periodically, should that say shall monthly? Because it did say annually first, now it's saying periodically.
I think they did that on purpose, but I'm not sure, Bill, again, I didn't write the article, so.
Is it proposed by the tax collector?
No, it's
No,
proposed by
it's
Charlie.
Proposed by Charlie. He'd be a good person to talk to about it.
Yeah. Okay. Sidewalks. So 47, to see if the town will vote to amend the code of Halifax by amending chapter 147, streets and sidewalks, section 11. So. Is it that the only difference, the petitioner has to pay for the
Yes.
cost of the notice?
Yeah.
It's kind of a minor nit, but in the future, it would certainly be helpful that when you have these comparisons,
Street
if
and
to
talk to
change
Charlie.
the font,
Right.
just something that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
talk to Charlie.
I'll make a motion to approve Article 47 as presented.
Is there a second?
A second.
Further discussion? Anyone? All those in favor, aye?
I have to run up to Hops. You guys
48.
done with me?
That's enough
Yeah.
for one night.
Alright. Did you?
48, is to see if the town will vote to amend. Do we know if the planning board and zoning made recommendations yet on this one? Or-
I do not know. They have not.
Alright, I wouldn't take a vote on that until they've made their recommendation.
Agreed.
I know they made recommendations on the roads,
Okay,
but not on this. It just got advertised
okay.
today.
If you could for the next meeting,
Yep.
just find out what their recommendation on the roads are so we can vote accordingly.
I know what Heron Road was. I don't know what the other,
Okay.
what exact staff.
49. Local 49 is to accept Chapter 64N, Section 3, Mass General Laws, local tax option. The city or town may impose a local sales tax upon the sale or transfer of marijuana or marijuana products by a marijuana retailer operating within the city or town to anyone other than a marijuana establishment at a rate not greater than 2% of the total sales received by the marijuana retailer as consideration for the sale of marijuana and marijuana products. The marijuana retailer shall pay a local sales tax imposed under this section to the commissioner at the same time in the same manner as the sales tax due to the Commonwealth, and impose a 2% sales tax, local sales tax, of the total sales price received by the marijuana retailer as consideration for the sale of marijuana or marijuana products upon the sale or transfer of marijuana or marijuana products. Is that in there twice?
You say marijuana a lot.
Is that for the sale?
It's for the sale or upon the sale,
For the sale or upon the sale, okay.
Or transfer.
or transfer.
Or transfer of marijuana or marijuana products by a marijuana retailer operating. You could have some real fun with this YouTube video. Marijuana retailer, operator in the city or town or anyone other than the marijuana establishment. Assuming this is just copying chapter 64N.
Make a motion to approve as presented.
Or you just want to tax those potheads right out of the establishment.
Where did the 2% come from?
I think it comes from the
From the
Massachusetts
state.
general law. It's 2%. I think that's what was written into the,
As a result of the ballot.
yeah, ballot.
So this is on top of the state sales tax?
Yep.
It's kind of like the food tax that we did last year. Local meals tax.
We only charge 0.75% for food, but
Yeah.
pots too.
So you know after you smoke, you're going off that extra 0.75.
Any discussion? All those in favor, aye?
Aye.
Opposed, abstention, passes. So I have questions on this one as well. I read this earlier.
Is this the foreclosure one?
Yeah,
Yeah.
so,
All I can tell you is I think that the intention of it
yep,
was that if a bank forecloses on the property, the bank needs to then take care of that property so that it's not an eyesore on the neighborhood. I believe that's all the intention of that is. A lot of words to say that. It's not on an individual, it's on the banks that foreclose on the properties. Yeah, I'm telling you that. at your next meeting.
Yeah, so I'll have some questions for this. And that's it. Oh, special town meeting. Okay, so Article 1, special town meeting, to see if the town will vote to transfer $16,504.84 from undesignated fund balance to PEG Access Enterprise Fund or take any action thereon. Again, this is the public access
Right.
TV.
Because we had a set figure that we appropriated last year, we were not allowed to send any more than that one set figure. The monies that came in from the cable were $16,504.84 over what we
What
were
we
allowed to
put in.
send to them. I'm taking it out of undesignated fund balance because at the end of last year, that's what it got closed out to.
Okay. Is there a motion to accept?
So moved.
Oh, motion to recommend.
I'll make a motion to recommend Article 1 as written.
A
Okay.
second.
Any discussion? All those in favor, aye?
Aye.
Okay. Article 2, to see if the town will vote to transfer a sum of money, so this is for wall lines, so hopefully this will clean up
Mhm.
whatever
Right.
for the month of May and April and June.
Mhm.
So we don't know what that number is yet. Article 3, to see if the town will vote to transfer $4,500 from solid waste retained earnings to line 110, recycling center expense of Article 4 of the annual town meeting of May 9th, 2016.
They had some repairs to their granulator, one of their great big machines down there that's never broken down before. They had to repair it, so now their expense line is running short. This number may change, it would only come down, it would not go up.
Okay. So is there a motion to approve as written?
So line 110 is wages?
No,
So it's gonna
go
change.
back
You
to
have
the
read-
previous.
You have to read from here, Bill.
It's
Some of
not-
those numbers have changed.
That's last year's line number. So in last
So-
year's warrant, it was line number 110 out of Article 4. So that's how we have to say it, so they know that it's the right. It's from last year's town warrant.
I'll make a motion to approve Article 3 as written.
Is there a second?
Second recommendation.
Any further discussion? All those in favor, aye?
Aye.
Okay, Article 4, to see if the town will vote to transfer $156,000, do we know yet? 56?
I spoke with the business manager at Silver Lake. She's sticking with that number. I have found a number of lines that I'm gonna be able to take money from.
How much are they going to contribute?
We're not sure they can contribute any yet. Will have some money left over in their vocational
Yeah.
education line, but they also need money for the special education transportation line.
Okay,
So if they can, she'll let me know
okay,
before town meeting, but at this point, we're gonna go with what I found.
okay. So let's skip that one until closer to town meeting. Skip number 5, because we don't have a sum of money. Town reports, do we have a sum for that one?
Not yet.
Okay. So Article 7, you can't do raise and appropriate. Or can, no, you can't, right, because that's a special. You can't do
No.
that. So it has to be a transfer.
It would be transfer from available funds.
Okay. Do that close to the town meeting. Close to the town meeting. For Article 8. Article 9.
That was my fault. Article 9, Article 10 was my fault.
Do we have a sum for Article 9?
No, not yet.
Okay. Article 10.
Right. Just take out the raise and appropriate, it's to transfer from available funds the sum of $150 to pay for a street light on pole number 3 on Indian Path Road. There was a resident who petitioned the selectmen
Yeah.
to put a street light there. 2 years ago, we put on a street light, added 130 to the budget. So I went up a little bit for this one
Okay.
to 150, because everything goes up, right?
Is that the one we already? No.
We didn't have this one before, this is new today.
So we'll have to do this some that day too. So that'll be new. Unless you have a source for it now.
Who's the one that we already wrote?
Number 8.
We voted that?
It says Finance Committee recommends.
Yeah.
Where'd we vote the money from for that?
Water, oh, undesignated funds. But then it says water.
Save the total. It wouldn't be one.
Well, I have water next to the article, but then I have to remind me of what it was. Because
That's the
that point-
It's
that's the stormwater.
stormwater,
Right.
but that's because nothing had, they all just had
Right.
lines next to them,
Right.
so I'm like, well, I'm gonna call it Article Z.
Mhm.
I have undesignated funds next to it.
Right, we may not have to take it out of the designated funds, I think I have another source.
Okay, so we'll have to revote that one then too, for the new funding source. So we have public participation on the agenda. Is there anything you'd like to say or? Okay. Does anyone else have anything else before we hear a motion?
I think this is
Do
Diane's
we,
time.
just, can we go over before we adjourn? Our next meeting date is April 24th.
Gordon, before we do this, did we cover this? Did I slow down?
No, we didn't. Good catch.
So
So
my
local receipts
apologies,
update.
Yeah, the dates on the top are off, they were done, those were done as of March 31st,
Okay.
16 compared to March 31st, 17. That'll give you an idea of how we're doing. We are ahead of where we were last year, not on all the lines, but
So these ambulance receipts are received through 3/31.
I think we'll
So we
make
have
it.
a quarter left.
Right. I think we'll make what, or very close to what we estimated, but we're not gonna go over, I don't believe.
So the estimate that we had in the beginning, which was gonna
420.
be a lot more.
410,000, I think that's what we estimated. I think we're gonna come in between 405 and 410. That's my, you know, I'm always concerned.
So does that mean we have to move money
No.
to,
No, because remember, the local receipts, that estimate went towards,
raise and appropriate?
the raise and appropriate. As long as we have money that has come in,
So as long as the
From-
total of local receipts hits
not
that
even the
number?
total of local, yeah, sort of, yeah. As long as we're over, we're fine.
Okay. What was the original estimate? Do you remember? For
420.
ambulance?
420 was, I think, what was presented. And I still think, based on the accelerated numbers that we've been seeing, that 420 is reasonable.
We'll see.
But a month ago, it was looking like 435, so.
But a month before that, it was looking like 300 something.
Yes, so, I mean, it's a very fluid situation right now, and until we have,
There's
until we
no
have a
way-
couple of years under our belt, we're not gonna know.
There's no way to know how many ambulance runs you're going to be making. There's no way to know whether they're going to be Medicare ambulance runs or insurance company ambulance runs, so.
So April 24th, building committee's gonna be here.
Building committee,
Water, or we don't know
I'm
yet?
hoping water.
Is the building committee talked to about council of aging?
That's what they're gonna be coming in for. We should get updated information from Charlie and John Campbell on that. I know they're working on the updated numbers. We're supposed to get an email from them.
I would just allow a lot of time for that.
Allow a lot of time for that.
Yeah, because the last week when we ate up a lot of time.
Okay, so how about water commissioners before building committee then?
We don't have a meeting before.
No. Time on the,
All right, so you want one at 7:15 and then
yeah, so if water commissioners,
maybe on
how
7:45.
long do you think that discussion's gonna be with them to go over their budget on that one line, on what they've requested, the 100,000?
I think if they could send us something maybe to read before via email, and then we could just look at, have something kind of hard copy in front of us and just clear up any questions we have that might speed things up.
Okay.
That's just me.
Yeah, I think if we have those numbers beforehand, we can peruse them, 15 minutes would be enough time, I would think. Because I think we're just presenting our concerns, this is turning to a hard number
It's
every
more of
year.
a philosophical
Yeah.
debate
Yeah.
as to how you go about it.
25 minutes.
I was gonna say, why don't I give it half an hour?
Sure. Half an hour for them.
I'll have them come in at,
7:15,
I'll have them come in at 7:15, I'll have the building committee. come at
7:45. Okay. Do we have anybody else that we need to talk?
Not on my list of,
Just the
Selectmen.
selectmen.
Selectmen. So. Stu, when are you back?
Not on the 24th.
right.
You back May 1st, maybe?
Do we want to meet with them on their meeting night?
Oh, does Tuesday nights work for anyone, or it does not work for anyone?
I can make it.
I can do it after, like from May 2nd on.
I can't do May 2nd. It's the only Tuesday I can't do.
Okay. I will try to schedule them and Kendra the day that works the best for the most members to be present. And we can always do a conference call if people want to call in.
If May 2nd is the only day, just
Yeah.
let me know beforehand. and
I
I'll see
think
if I
we
can
want
juggle
this-
things.
Long before
Yeah.
the second.
Yeah.
I have conservation on Tuesday nights, but you don't need me to.
We always need you.
You'll be all right.
So why don't I just send everyone an email and see which dates work?
Okay.
And that way I
That's
can try to plan out who has the most availability and try to get that meeting scheduled between them. Do a conference call.
Did you have council on aging?
That's next.
So that would be building committee. Do we need to?
Okay.
We probably want to invite a representative from Council on Aging, I would think.
Okay.
For the selectmen meeting, is there any way we can get like what we actually have left in the levy? Like the number?
Yeah, we'll have,
Yes,
Sandy
it has
has
that.
Well,
that.
I gave that to you last week.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, was that on Thursday? I feel like I missed a lot on
Yeah,
the Thursday meeting.
Thursday was
was a
a
long
long
one.
meeting.
You picked the right night to be out.
I didn't have a choice. I will read those minutes.
Sandy, would
Twice.
you mind sending out the updated spreadsheet to everyone, or to Kendra, and Kendra can send it to everyone?
Really nice.
Oh, you want to do it?
Did the same
That way everyone has electronic copy.
Well, we did
I'm all
all the
set.
way.
I sent it to Bill
The
today.
one in the beginning.
Same person.
I wrote the letter last Friday. Sandy and Kendra helped fix it.
No, Sandy did. Sandy did it. I had technical errors.
Well, Sandy edited that letter for me.
She can bail me out.
So thank you for that. I put in, I'll send everyone the letter because I don't think I did that. But I put in there that we hadn't finished our recommendations at the bottom. So I gave the maximum, and I gave the maximum increase that it could be and what the current tax bill is. Because I was talking to Sandy, I'm like, okay, so right now we're at this, so should I put in this number or should I give the tax bill? So I just went with a maximum and what last year's number
I
was.
know, we thought, I wanted him to put in what it would be with the 600 below levy. He didn't do that.
Oh, we were already 30,000 less.
Really good.
I can read the letter if everyone wants, or I can email it to you.
I was gonna say,
I recommend the email.
I thought you were gonna say read it, we'll leave it.
I was thinking about that private rate.
Oh, we should make him say it with longer though.
Steak every night.
Anyone else have anything?
Hey, when it's on sale, $5.77 a pound.
Okay, Stu?
Now it's time.
Make a
Diane?
motion to adjourn, 8:20.
Okay, is there a second?
I'll second.
All those in favor, aye?
Aye.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
thank you.